Hey guys, how's it going? We are going to be painting such a fun little patchwork butterfly today. I know I said it was going to be a surprise on the event announcement because I hadn't decided yet, but a butterfly was on our list and I thought it would be fun to do a patchwork butterfly. So that's what we're going to do today. Hey, Talia. Hey, Bunny. How's it going? Hey, Jamie. Glad you're here. Thanks for hitting the like button. Tap the screen, share it out, repost, all the things. The first 5 minutes are the most imperative part of a live. So if you guys will do all of that for me as you step in the room, that would be great. I would appreciate it so much. Repost it, all the things. Thank you for the heart me, Jamie. How's it going today? I hope you guys are having a great Monday afternoon. I know it's afternoon, but when I got on this morning to create the event, TikTok suggested I do a 1 o'clock to get the most engagement. So that is what I decided to do. I decided to go ahead and just take TikTok's advice and see what happens. Jamie, thank you so much for all of those gifts. I appreciate it so much. I am so ready for, thank you, Jamie and her creations. I appreciate that. So yes, these are we're working on our patchwork series. So these are the ones we've done live. So these are the ones that you can get the replay tutorials on my Tube of You channel. You can do the bunny, the frog, and the duck. That is the patchwork series that we are working on. Now, I do have another patchwork one that I did. It was not on a live, so I do not have a replay for it. I probably should have recorded it, but I did not. And it is the Patchwork Dinosaur, and that goes along with, hey, Stacy Lee, that goes along with these 3 that we've done on live. So we have 4, I have 4 so far in this series. I'm going to do 5, and then I'm going to list these for sale, along with, I'm working on my fish series as well. We did this fish live. That replay should be available by this afternoon. It was supposed to have uploaded over the weekend, and for some reason it didn't. When I went to check today, I noticed it wasn't there. So I'm going to get this done this afternoon. I missed you guys too. Already folded cards, so make sure I order those when you show them if you do. Those are the Funto cards. They've been sold out for a while. I don't know if they're back in stock or not. Let me check and I'll show them. I'll put them up for you. I don't think they are, but I'm happy to check and see. Yeah, they're still sold out right now. The Funto blank watercolor cards are still sold out. So, hey, Rhonda O, how's it going? Thank you for that fan club. Reaching that level 7. That's awesome. Super excited for that. You guys are always so supportive. Talia, you reached level 2. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, you've been doing it for 2 months. I missed that. Good grief. There's so much popping up on here. I can't keep up with it. Thank you for the heart me's. You guys are awesome. Tap the screen, share it out, repost, all the things. And hopefully today we will have some fun. We're going to do the we're going to do a patchwork butterfly. I'm going to put this up just for a little while to remind everybody of, to help out and get the live pushed out. And then also, we're going to be doing a patchwork butterfly to go along with our patchwork duck, dino, frog, and bear, or I'm sorry, bunny. And the dino was not done on live, so he is not available, unfortunately. But these 3 are available on replay for you guys if you are wanting to see the replays of these tutorials. They're on my Tube of You. Okay? And I'm going to do a butterfly, patchwork butterfly today. So cute. I love it, love it, love it. Let's see. These are the ACEOs that sold this week. So just so you guys know, these 4 will be going to their new homes this week. And so I'm excited about that. So thank you guys, everybody who supported my auctions this week. These are the ones that will be going out. And we will be moving into the fish and the Patchwork series. Hopefully by Sunday, I will start getting all of those listed for you guys. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Yeah, I know, Talia. It's really frustrating. They're all sold out. I will tell you this, though. We did a whole series of cards with the Meet-In postcards, which are right here. We did these at Christmas time, and we just put them on 2 cards. Like, so we glued them, like we backed them with like some paper, like some decorative paper. And then we stuck them onto 5x7 cards that we got at like the big box store that you get craft supplies at that starts with an H. And that was really, really great. Like, our Christmas cards went out and they were super, super cute. And I will tell you that this paper for the Meet-In cards is way, way better than the other one. So I'll show you kind of, this was how they looked. This was one of the cards we did. These were obviously Christmas. Okay. So we did these at Christmas time. Here was another one that we did. How cute are those? So we did those on live at Christmas time, and then we made a whole set of cards with them. So if you're looking for just some really good paper to do cards with, these Meet-In postcards, they're the same as the Meet-In paper. So if you love the Meet-In paper, you're going to love these postcards as well. They already have this border on them, so you don't have to do the border. You just have to do the cards. And then you can stick them onto a card, and they turn out super, super cute. So just so you know, that is an option for you instead of the sold out cards that unfortunately don't always come back in stock, because I don't know when they're going to be back in stock. They've been out for a while. So I don't know. And honestly, I don't like the paper. The paper on this cards is really, really annoying. So I would say the Meet-In postcard paper is a better option, honestly. And it's roughly about the same size. So there's that. Okay, so that would be my suggestion for that. All right, we're going to work on some patchworks today. So let's talk about all the things that we are going to use. Let me show you what we're going to be doing. I'm going to put it up on the screen. So here is our patchwork. Hang on, let me find it. There we go. Should be going up. There. This is the patchwork butterfly that we're going to do today. It's right here should be in the left or right, the left-hand corner of your screen. Obviously, I will pull up the larger one and let you guys take a screenshot of it in just a moment. However, for now, I'm going to leave that up on the screen so you guys can see it while we talk about what we are going to use today. All right, so the very first thing that you guys are going to need is some watercolor paper. Understand you can use any watercolor paper that you want. You do not have to have the same brand that I am using. I, however, am using the Meet-In watercolor paper. It is the 5x7 size, and hang on, if I can get this to come out of here. There we go. It is the 5x7 size, and it has this gorgeous texture. Love this paper. It is cold press, 100% cotton, and it is 300 GSMs. And I love this size because you can get 4 of the ACEO sizes out of one sheet and not have any waste. So when I'm doing that, I don't have to throw away any extra paper that's left over. You can literally cut 4 perfect 2.5 by 3.5 sizes, or 3.5 inch sizes out of one sheet of this 5x7. So then you have no paper that is going in the trash can, which is great. And obviously there's 20 sheets in a pack. That means you get 80 of these if you use all of them for ACEO sizes. So I can get 80 of these sizes out of this one pack of paper. So love, love, love it. And that is the paper I will be using. Again, use whatever paper you're comfortable with. Don't use that as an excuse not to paint with us. Pull out whatever paper you have, and that is what I want you to use, because I want everyone to paint with us. Okay? Now, the next thing that we are going to need is a set of paints. I am going to be using the Meeden tube watercolor paints. Okay? That means that you either have to pull out the tubes of the colors that you need, or if you have an empty tin like this. Thank you so much, TT the OG. I put mine in an empty tin like this. Thank you for the follow so much, TT the OG. I appreciate that. So that I don't have to pull out my colors. They're already all in here and I can just choose. They come like this in a tube. They are a very large tube, by the way. It's a 0.4 fluid ounce tube, so you get lots of paint. They're going to last you a good long while. They are environmentally safe, so children are also able to use these because they are non-toxic, which I absolutely love about them as well, because my grandkids use these all the time. I purchased the empty tin, put them all in here, and that way I don't have to pull them out tube by tube as I need them. I just use this as a palette. So when you see me using mine, I will be using it out of here, but just know that it is this set of paints that I'm using, okay? And that is one of the things that I love the most about this empty tin, is that I don't have to pull out each color, okay? You struggle with I struggle with bleeding watercolor. Okay, yeah, that can happen if you don't allow everything to dry sufficiently before you put on each layer. So a lot of times we want that to happen. We get that from like the shading that we get. We use colored pencils to do a lot of the shading, but also we shade with the way that we add our color on. So we will like do wet on wet technique, or we'll do dry on dry. So, or wet on dry. So those are going to be different techniques that you use. So if you're struggling with bleeding, you're going to want to let it dry. I use a heat gun to make sure that mine's dry, and then move on to the next layer. So, but if you watch our tutorials every day, you'll kind of learn how that works, because we're on here every single day doing fun tutorials and learning together. I am not a classically trained artist. I am simply someone who loves to paint, and I'm self-taught, and anybody can do this. You do not have to be born with talent or ability. You simply can learn, okay? Stacy Lee, we do have on the Golden Maple set today. I already have it situated in the billboard, but on the Golden Maple set, I'm going to put that up for you guys. There is a code right here for I think it's for, I don't remember. It's going to give you a discount if you use this code and you get these detail brushes. Additionally, there's free shipping, I think, and there's also a 5% off if you spend over $40. So all of that is on the Golden Maple detail set right here, which we will be using that set today. Jen, I get mine from Chat GPT. I have uploaded my art into the program, and so it knows my style. And so I ask it to create, like today I said, create me a patchwork butterfly in my watercolor art style, and it creates me an image. I don't want to steal other people's image, so I want to make sure that you know, that we keep that integrity. So I just get my images from ChatGPT. Occasionally I'll pull one from the PIN site, but I always make sure that I let everyone know that that's what that is if we do that. I'm on the spectrum. I'm ADHD, so I struggle at being okay with my painting and not being perfect. I understand that, TT the OG. I am very ADHD. Super, super neurodivergent, which is why I struggle with like even keeping my hands still. As you can see, I'm constantly picking things up and moving. And it is because I'm very, very ADHD. And I struggled with perfectionism for a long, long time. One of the things that we do in this tutorial is trust the process. Understand there is always an ugly phase that you have to work through before you get to the end result. And so trusting the process and trusting that that we can work through that ugly phase is part of what we do in our tutorials. So no worries there. We are our own worst critics, and I understand that. There's no mistakes in art. That's right. There's not, because you end up with what you end up, and it's going to be beautiful, and somebody is going to love it. You may not love it, but someone else will, and they may not love it, but you will. So there's always going to be at least one person who is going to love it, and you just have to remind yourself of that today. Yes, that's right. You did, Stacey Lee. You went through that, and you know what? Your art is amazing. So, well, TT the OG, put it out there. Get it on your page and let people see it. Let us encourage you. Let us like it, share it, and really get it out there for your people, because you're going to find your audience. You're going to find your people when you start putting it out there. Don't be afraid to do that. Okay, so this is the paints that we're going to use. We are also going to be using the Meeden brushes. So for those brushes, we have the I've got to pull some stuff out of my tin here, because I did put these in here for the weekend. I took these I took these this weekend, and I need to make sure that I get them out so that I have them for today. These are the brushes I took on my trip this weekend. So and you can see they are the Golden Maple Detail brushes, and they are my number one Meeden brush, which is my favorite of all my brushes. So we're going to be using the Meeden brush set, which is right here. It comes with the 1, 3, 5, and 7, but there is a 9 brush set as well. This set is going to be my go-to set. This is the set that I'll use for the majority of what we do, except for the small detail stuff. We use this for backgrounds. We use this for base coats. They are created to reduce hand fatigue. They have a short handle so you can control your strokes really easily. The ferrules stay super, super tight so you don't get shedding. And also they don't rust, which is really, really nice, because once they get wet, you don't want them to dry and rust, and then you get rust in your paintings. That's not a good thing. So these are designed not to do that. So I love, love, love them. They also hold their shapes really well, and they hold a ton of water. So they're a great professional brush set, but they are not going to break the bank. You're not going to be paying $30 a brush. You're going to pay a really marginal fee for a full set of these brushes. They are so worth it. They're going to upgrade your art so quickly, and you will absolutely love them. So we're going to be using those as our brush set today. And then we are also going to be using the Golden Maple Detail brush set. That is right here, and this is the one that we have the coupon code for, and that we have, hang on one second and let me get, yes. Okay, so this code right here is the code that is available for you guys to save additional on top of this sale. The sale is 40% off right now, but also you can save an additional amount with this code right here. And it is only good during this live. So make sure that if you decide to get this set, you're going to want to do that during the live so that you have that code available for you. Let me put these brushes back in the case because I pulled them out this weekend. You get 20 detail brushes in a set. You also get this amazing case to hold them in so that you are not losing them. You get your liner brushes, flat brushes, round brushes. You even get your fan brush and your angled brush. So these are amazing. They're designed for miniature painting like dollhouse furniture and model cars and things like that, but they work great for watercolor details, and they're designed to reduce hand fatigue. They're made out of really high quality birch wood, and they have a no rust ferrule as well. So you guys are getting a really good quality set of detail brushes with a case so that you can keep all of them together and never worry about where they are and losing them. So that is the detail brushes that we're going to be using today. Stacy, my trip was wonderful. Thank you for asking. We had a really good time. The weather held off, so we had good weather the whole weekend and got to spend a lot of time with the grands at the beach. They had so much fun playing in the water and building sandcastles and all of that. So, thank you for asking. Okay, let me see. What else are we going to need today? You're going to need a waterproof pen. I use the Grabby set. Okay, so this is the one that I will be using today, is this Grabby black set of pens. Now, you can use, you can get these in a full set of black. Hang on, let me pull it out for you guys. Or you can also get them in the black and the colors put together. So this is the black set. It comes in all of these sizes. Oh, you made Easter cards for your whole family. That's so cool. I love that. And they are waterproof, so you can put watercolors over them and they will not smear. Love this. If you do not have this set, that's fine. Whatever waterproof pen you have is fine. Microns will work. The Mr. Pens one will work as well. But as long as they are waterproof, that is all you need, is at least one waterproof black pen. Okay? The other thing that we'll be using is colored pencils. Now, this set right here is the set that I will be using. These are the 240-piece colored pencil set from Color. And guys, they are such an amazing set. I love this set of pencils, colored pencils, because I have lots of options in colors, which means I can blend really, really easily. You can see the water puddle I did with these colored pencils. I started with the dark and faded it down to this light and then gave it the puddles with the darker. So these pens these pencils are really, really good for shading and for adding detail to your watercolor, but also they're great for just coloring. So if you like to do coloring pages like I do, I love to do coloring. And you can see that when you use these pencils, you get a really good quality blend versus when you use pencils that maybe don't have as many options like these. I didn't have as many color options, so you see these harsh lines. But when you look at the color options here in this orange and in this green, you can see that it blended really, really well because I have more options to choose from, and that makes the blend a lot easier. So that is why I like a 240 color set, and that's what I will be using today. Okay, so hopefully that is everything. We are going to get started in just a few minutes. I want everybody to grab your paper, grab your pen, grab your brush, and grab your paints, and then give me a ready in the comments so I know that everybody's ready to get started on our tutorial, and we will get moving on that. I'll give you a screenshot of the actual image, and then we will get going on that. So let me get the image pulled up. Polly is ready. She's always ready. I love it. All right, so here is the screenshot. So if you want to get a larger picture of the image, then this is your moment to do so. Sorry guys. I'm going to go ahead and take off that billboard so you guys have a better screenshot. Hang on one second. Let me do that for you guys. Dun, dun, dun. All right. And now, all right, here we go. Now you don't have that in your way. All right, so here's the screenshot. Everybody go ahead and take your screenshots as you need them, because this is the image we're going to do today for our tutorial. I'm going to do it at a 2.5 by 3.5 inch size, which is your ACEO size. So if you want to paint this with us, then go ahead and take a screenshot of this so you have it to refer to. I will also keep it up in the upper left-hand corner for you guys if you need it as well. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we are going to move to the overhead so that everybody can see and have a really good view of what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to move you over to the side so you can see as I'm working and my hand won't be in the way. And we're going to use our, oh, you know what else I forgot to tell you guys is that you're going to need a pencil to draw with. I'm going to be using the Nick Pro set, and I'm going to pull that set. I just had it just a minute ago. So I'm going to be using the Nick Pro pencil set, mechanical pencil set. It's my favorite because you get all of your pencil sizes along with you get erasers and you get leads and all the things. So I will be using the 0.5, which I'm pulling out of my Meet and Art drawer right now. So give me just a second to grab it. I was using it last night in the house. So I had it in my little travel Meet and Art drawer, which I'm going to show you guys because y'all will love this. I'll show it to you at the end. But I just got this in, and it is great for traveling and for like taking back and forth. I take mine from my studio to the house and then back, and it works really great. But I'll show y'all that later. Okay, so I'm going to be using the 0.5 and the HB lead. But this set you get you get 3 of these erasers. You get a kneaded eraser. You get all of your lead hardnesses. So you get your soft and your hard leads. You get a 0.7, 0.9, 3 2.0s, and you get your 0.5. You get pencil sharpeners. You get extra erasers for these. Everything that you need to have a really good pencil set to do consistent drawing with, which is something that is incredibly important if you want consistent line work, to use a mechanical pencil set. So that's the one that I'm going to be using. I will put it up here just so you guys can see it as I'm using it. And then that way you guys have that. So let me go ahead and put up our image as well so that y'all have that available in case you need it. It is going to be right here, and I'm going to make that a little bit, I don't know if I can make it any bigger, so I guess that's the size it's going to have to be. Okay. All right, guys, so there you go. And let's go ahead and get our edges taped off, and then we will get going on our painting. All right, I'm going to be using my washi tape. And you can use painter's tape. You can use washi tape. You can use art tape. You can use, whatever tape you want to use is fine. I like to use washi tape because it gives me a really clean line, and also because I can see through it. And so I can see that my borders are consistent and straight because I can see through. Oops. Sorry, I have to get this. The first one is always the hardest one to get down. Okay, so then I'm going to go and make sure that I do an even border all the way around my art. And I just eyeball it. I mean, it may be slightly off by a millimeter or something, but it's not going to be noticeable to the eye. So I don't really worry about it being exactly perfect. If you want to measure it and mark it off, you can. But like I said, I do roughly 1/4 inch all the way around my painting. Okay. Now, I know that this is probably going to come up when I put a heat gun to it. And if it does, we'll put some painter's tape on it. But I'll still have my good clean lines from this. So Babs, yay! I'm so excited you're going to paint with us. Yay. So you got all your stuff in and you're ready to go. I'm excited. Yay, yay, yay. I hope you send me it when you're done so I can look at it. I will love it. Or tag me in it if you post it. Okay. All right. So we're going to be using the Nick Pro pencil set to draw our image with. And we're going to start basically with the head, because this is going to be an image wide as a mushroom at the bottom. So what we're going to do is we're going to do like a semicircle at the top. So go ahead, and it's going to be kind of sideways. So we're going to do a little semicircle, and then we're going to kind of widen that out at the bottom and bring it around. Okay, so it's not quite a circle. It's kind of like it just kind of gets wider as the sides come down. So we're going to go wide like this. There we go. Like that. Okay. Erase the lines you don't want or need. All right. Okay. So we have that. Hang on one second. I'm going to get us some music going, because you guys know I don't like it when it's quiet. There we go. Nice. Okay. All right. So we have our head done, and now we're going to do the little body, and it's going to kind of come. I think I made that too sideways, though. I think I made it looking like leaning too much to the side. So let me try that again. And also I made it too big. You guys know I struggle with proportions. So I want to make sure that I don't go too big. Because remember when we did this, and I ended up with his head like really super big. Okay, so I'm going to try that again. So I'm going to do it from an upside down position. I tend to do better when I turn them upside down. To start. All right, so there's my head. Why am I struggling with this head so much, you guys? I never do this. Okay, let's try it one more time. I'm just going to go up like this. There we go. All right, I just had to do it in one fell swoop. Stop trying to sketch it. All right, now we're going to do the body. We're going to bring it down. We're going to do this in sections. They're just basically going to be like little square sections. Okay. And just bring it down like this. And then this last one's going to kind of come to a little point. Kind of like when we did our dragonfly. Only don't do it the way I did the dragonfly, because y'all know I hated my dragonfly. He was not good. I'll show it to y'all. He was struggling with spacing. Let me see if I can find him. I know he's in here somewhere. Here he is. See how we made his tail? His tail didn't come out right. It was really weird. So don't do that. Okay. All right. So now that we have the body done, it's time to do the wings. And when we do the wings, we want to do the top wings first. And they're kind of like, they're going to come out from like the top, like a little bit above halfway on his head. Okay. And we're going to bring him up. It's going to come up like this. And we're just going to kind of do a little S and bring it right up underneath his chin, like that. All the way under his chin. Don't cut it short. Okay. Same thing over here. We're going to go up, and we're going to kind of do a little S. Not quite that much. And bring it up. Okay. These don't have to be perfect. A butterfly wing is not perfectly shaped. So don't feel like it has to be that way. Now here, we're just basically making kind of like a teardrop shape and just kind of bringing it up. Okay. And here again, kind of like a teardrop shape and bringing it up. Okay. So you see that they're not proportional. They don't have to be. Okay. All right. Now we're going to draw our patches in. Okay. Now this shows the reference image you can see has patches all over the wings. I'm not going to do mine that way. I'm going to do mine the same way I've done all the other ones, where they just have patches here or there. So a few patches throughout the whole thing. So I'm going to draw a patch here. And I'm going to draw a patch here. I'm going to draw a patch here. And I'm going to draw another patch beside that one that's a little bit bigger. And I'm going to draw a patch here. Okay. I'm going to draw one here. You just make them however you want to. If you want yours to be completely patched the way that one is done, that's fine too. I am going to do a heart patch though right here. And then I'm going to do a patch coming off of there. One here. And one here. Like that. Okay, so he's all patched up. Let's do another one right there. So I've got his patches done. And then let's go ahead and do his eyes. We're going to do right here in the middle. They're just going to be these big circles that take up most of his face or her face. Give him a smile and some eyebrows. And we're going to do some stitching right down here, just like that. Let's do his antennas up. And those are little hearts. Just like that. Okay, so we basically have him drawn. Now remember, we talked about the ugly phase, okay? There is going to be doubt when you finish your drawing. You're going to be like, oh, is this what I want? Is this going to work? Whatever. Just know, I promise you, it's going to be fine. I'm going to give him a little bit of a... No, he's not a bee, so I'm not going to give him a stinger. But I feel like he needs some sort of a tail, but I guess they don't have them, so I'm going to leave it just like that. Sorry. Okay. Now here, we're going to do some flowers. So let's go ahead and bring our flowers up. We're going to go a big circle for the center of the flower and draw our petals. Okay, our petals are going to be for daisies, so they don't have to touch. Bigger in the back. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to draw a big leaf. That's coming out there. And I'm going to draw another one. Coming out there. Draw another daisy right here, a little bit smaller. Just like that. And we'll do, let's see. I'm going to leave it like that for now. We can always add more. Okay, so there is the drawing, all right? I want everybody to give me a comment letting me know that you are done. So put a check mark emoji in the comments so I know that we're ready to move on, and go ahead and tap the screen a few times. Let's try to get the tapping up to, let's see, we're at 4.9. So let's get to 5,000. Once we get to 5,000 likes, we will move on to the next phase, which is the background. So I want everybody to tap, 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 get us to that 5,000K mark. And once we get there, we will get moving on to the remainder of the tutorial. So go ahead and tap, 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 tap. Okay. Get us to the 5K mark. And we'll move on to the next one for our tutorial. How's it going? I need to know. Need some feedback, guys. Because if I don't know if you're caught up, I don't know to move on. So let me know. We're at the 5K mark and I'm ready to move on, but I need some feedback from you guys so I know if y'all are ready to move on. Babs is the only one that's responded. Okay, Talia says yes, she's ready. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go ahead and now get our background done. So get your large brush. So we're going to go ahead and shift to these meet-in brushes. Okay, get whatever brush you have, and we're going to add some clear water to the entire page. All right, so everybody put clear water on your page. Decide what color background you want to use. I am going to be using blue. So I'm going to dip into my blue and I'm just going to put it all over the page. Okay, just like that. And then what I want you to do is I want you to not panic that it's all over your image, because you're going to wipe it up with a dry brush. So dry your brush and wipe up that color just like this, all the way from top to bottom, and then left to right, just like this, and then right to left, just like this. Okay, so now it's going to look almost white again, but it's not. When you peel your tape, you are going to have a very subtle border like this all the way around your image. So you have a frame, okay? Same thing here. We did the same thing here. This little pink border, okay? The dinosaur, we did the blue, which is what I used again today. All right, that's what you're going to end up with. But it's not going to affect your image because you're not going to notice it once you paint over your image, okay? So let's go ahead and dry this and get it ready to start getting our base color on our butterfly. So we're going to have to decide. I think I'm going to go with the magenta. I think I'm going to go with the magenta for the base. And see, I told you when I put the heat gun to this, this was going to start coming up. So I'm going to go ahead and paint mine down with my painter's tape so I don't have to keep dealing with that. Although you could and it'll be fine, but it's not coming off my image. It's coming off my board that I have it taped to. So I'm going to go ahead and tape it down so I don't have to worry about that. And I don't use painter's tape to start with because I don't want to have to deal with lines that are not clean. I want my frame lines to be really, really clean. And so that's why I don't use it. I don't think it gives me as clean a line as the washi tape does. And I use cheap washi tape. If you use expensive washi tape, then you won't have that problem. But I, however, do not. I use my cheap washi tape because I'm a cheapskate. Okay. All right, so we have it all down. Let me just get my paints out of here so that we can use those. All right, now that we have our border done, we are going to get our base done. I'm going to use my meat in number 1. I'm going to reach into, I'm going to use this magenta, or I'm not sure what it's called. It might not be called magenta. Let me pull out my swatch and let you know for sure what it is. It is called Purple Red. So that is what I'm going to use as my base. I'm going to use a really light color of that Purple Red. Okay. So I'm just going to dip in there. I'm going to put some on my palette and just make sure it's not too dark. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a base coat of this pink down. And I'm going to do it all the way around all of the patches. So I'm not going to put it into the patches. I'm going to go around my patches. Okay, so just go in and place that color down. And this is your reminder, every piece of art goes through the ugly phase. So if you're struggling with an ugly phase, I'm going to do my bottom 2 a different color. I'm going to do the top 2, this magenta pink, or this purple, whatever it said, purple pink. But I'm going to do the bottom ones different. I think I'm going to go with like maybe a teal or something for the bottom. Anyway, every image is going to go through an ugly phase. And as we're going and working through that ugly phase, just keep going. Okay. This is your reminder to keep going, that it will get past that. You just have to trust the process of that. All right. I'm going to go ahead and go in with this, this right here, this cerulean blue. I really like that color. So I'm going to use it, but I don't want it to be super dark. So I'm going to add lots of water to it. And I'm going to let that. Now, this is where the blending comes in. So if you are going up next to it already wet, it will blend and smear. So just be aware of that and let it dry before you touch another color to it if you don't want it to blend together, okay? I'm not super worried about it blending, but you know, if you don't like yours to do that, then you want your pink to already be dry before you go up next to it with the blue, because otherwise it will seep into the pink. See how it did that? Just seeped into it, which I'm not really worried about because it's a butterfly and their colors can smear together and it won't be a problem. So I'm not really concerned about that. But if you are, then know you want it to be dry first, okay? All right, so we've got his base done. And you see how that kind of blended and made like some purple look on his wings? I don't mind that. I think that looks pretty. So I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to let it stay there and I'm going to dry it. Okay? All right, everybody give me a ready in the comments so that I know that you're ready. Go ahead and tap the screen a few times too, please, if you don't mind. That would be so helpful to get us out to the FYP and get us more people in the room. All right, Bab says she's ready. Good, good, good. I'm so glad. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch over now to, no, I'm not. I'm telling you a fib. We're going to go ahead and go into our body and give his body the colors that it needs. I'm going with this lime green right here. It's a yellow green. That's the color I'm going to use for the body base. But you can use any color that you want, so don't feel like you have to use the color I use. Thank you so much for those likes. I appreciate that so much. It really does help us get to the FYP. And guys, the only way I can continue to keep coming on here and doing these tutorials and instead of getting a daytime job is if you guys support these lives and get them out there so we have lots of people in the room, and I have people supporting my showcases or my showcase and sending me gifts and all of the things. So that is very, very helpful when you guys hit the like button. I'm super grateful for that. All right, so we have our base coat of green on as well. And I am going to now get that dry. So let's let that dry. And then we're going to pull out our detail brushes because we're going to need those for some of the shading we're going to do. So you're going to go ahead and switch to whatever the smallest brush that you have is. I want you guys to know Golden Maple sent me these. These are the teeny tiny itty bitty detail brushes. This is also going to be what we are going to give away on our Golden Maple live exclusive is going to be this set. Okay. So those of you who attend the exclusive live event, which I will be sending out soon, will be able to get in the drawing for these exclusive detail brushes. But look how teeny tiny these are. Aren't those amazing? I am so excited about these, but I do not want to use them just yet because I want to wait until we do our exclusive live, but I wanted to show y'all those. They are in the shopping bag. We are going to be using the Golden Maple set that I normally use, which is the 20-piece micro detail set that I have pinned below. And I am going to pull out my 18. No, my 20. No, I'm going to pull out, hang on guys, I want to decide which one I need. This is my 18. I don't know if I need my 20 or my 18. I think I'm going to do the 18. Yeah, I'm going to use the 18. So I'm going to use the 18 out of this set, which is a teeny tiny, pointy, short liner. Okay. And that is what I'm going to use to do this. Now we're going to go ahead. Our light is going to be coming from the front, like down. So the shadows are going to be up underneath these wings, these top wings. So go ahead and add some clear water in there, and we're going to blend in some shadowing for these. Oh, thank you, Stacy Lee. I missed it. I'm so sorry. Thanks for the popular and the budding heart. Oh my goodness. I didn't even see that come through. I don't know why. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. So once you get your water on, you're going to go in and you're going to take a more concentrated form of the color that you used, which was this blue, and you're just going to tap it into that water. And then you're going to rinse your brush, and you're going to kind of just spread that so that it gives this nice little shadow. Just like that. Perfect. Okay, now we're going to do that same thing over here. Okay, we're going to add that water in. Not too much. If you get too much, sop it up with a dry brush because you don't want it to, it won't be dark enough if you do that. Because remember, the more water you use, the less pigmented your paint will be. So, and then just drop in where you want those shadows to go. I want mine to go kind of right here. I'm going to wet my brush, rinse it, and then I'm just going to get clear water and just kind of spread that down just like that. Okay, so now we have those shadows there. We also want a few shadows up underneath our patches. So let's put some water underneath our patches right here on the top. Get some of that. And just rinse it. Use clear water to give yourself a little bit of a shadow under those patches. Same thing right here. Okay. All right, so we have those shadows done. Let's go ahead and get some shadows going on. Question the gouache. I don't know if it does or not. Stacey Lee, if you reach out, if you message them on their page, they're really good about answering questions like that. I can reach out to them, but you may get an answer quicker than me. So reach out to them and ask how you get a refill of the white. Because I'm sure they come in single tubes. I just don't know. It may not be off of TikTok Shop. It might be off of, you know, another place. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do the green for the body. Okay, and get those shadows in. We'll put in some legs at the last, at the end, because we want those to go over the top of everything. So go ahead and give yourself a little bit of water in the head area. And let's get some of that green and drop that. You know what? I'm going to go with a darker green. I'm going to go with this dark green that's next to it. We're going to drop that in. And we're going to just kind of spread that down. And just play around with it until that shadow looks the way that you want it to. You don't have to panic if it doesn't look right. You can just keep adding water and keep spreading that until it gets where you want it to be. Okay, we're going to do that kind of on the top of this first section and on the left side of this first section. Okay, and same thing on each section. We're going to do the top and the left side. Okay, so just let that build until you get it the way you like it. I'm going to build mine in the corners a little more. Okay, so we kind of have those shadows in the body now. All right. All right. All right, let's get the patches colored in, and we'll start putting some details on this cute little guy. I'm going to do a light pink first, and I'm going to do one that's plaid. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go in with my pink like this, with stripes. And I'm going to dry that, okay? Because I don't want it to blend. So I'm going to dry it. And then I'm going to go over it in the opposite direction. Okay. And we're going to go like this. Okay. And dry it. And don't worry about how it looks right now. Remember, ugly phase is okay. All right, you give me some comments in the comment section. Let me know how you guys are doing. Thumbs up is you're doing good. And give me a question mark if you need me to slow down. If you have any questions, ask them. I want to make sure that I am going in at the speed that you guys need. Babs has a thumbs up. Yay, I'm so excited, Babs. I'm so glad you're getting to paint with us today. All right, let's go ahead and put a yellow in, just solid yellow. Good. Let's go with this purple now. And we'll do, let's do it here. Hey, that almost looks pink. Let's change that. Let me go back in with this purple instead. Okay. And how about we do a really pretty green? Not too dark, though. Up here. Okay. Let's go ahead and do a blue right here. Okay. Again with the yellow. And the green. Now I'm going to dry that green. And I'm going to go over it with that same color but more pigmented and kind of make it a plaid look. I just want to have some different textures in them with these. So we're going to go like this. Hang on. Not getting enough water there. Okay, and then we're going to go back this direction. Like that. Okay. And dry it. I do not. I just put enough to use. It wouldn't all fit in there. I just put, just a little squirt in each pan. All right, let's go with this purple. I'm going to do the heart in purple. And we'll put our stitching on these in just a minute, so with our detail pin. Okay. And then we'll go pink. Find the pink right here. And let's do, I don't want to do an orange. We could do this coral. Let's see if that'll look good. What color that looks like. It's almost the same as pink, but it's just enough off that it doesn't blend in with the pink above it, which is good. So it's kind of a corally orangey pink. Okay. And then let's do one more of this green color, just solid green, right here. Just like that. All right, so now we have our base done. Now, I know it doesn't look beautiful right now, but it will, I promise. I'm going to do the hearts in the pink base color, but just a darker, more pigmented color of that we used for the base of the wings at the top. All right, how's it going so far? Good? All right, we're going to go ahead and do the center of the flower in whatever color you want to use for your centers. I'm using this orangey yellow. Ooh, thank you for the heart me. Appreciate that. There we go. So now we have this beautiful center. And what we're going to do is we are going to take just a little bit of a gray. And we're going to go kind of along the edge of our petals. Just to give our petals a look of being white, but they're going to be kind of grayish. You don't want to go too much. You just want them to have enough of a color that they don't look like the background is all. And if they look too much like the background, just add a little bit more gray in. Just like that. Okay. Same thing with the smaller one. I want to go in with the gray. Very light color gray. Okay. And then for the leaves, we're going to pull out our number 1 brush, our medium brush. And I'm going to go in with this green. Actually, I'm going to go in with this lighter green. I'm going to go in with the olive green. The olive color. I'm going to make it kind of light. Make sure your petals are dry so you don't accidentally mix your greens into your petals. Okay, and now take this dark color and drop it into the base. And let it do its thing. On its own. Okay. And then we'll put some veins in that in a little while. Okay, let's let it dry. Or dry it, whichever you want to do. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and do a few more flowers. So I'm going to get my detail brush out, and I'm going to go ahead and bring in my dark color for my stems. And I'm going to bring those up. Like that. Okay. And I'm going to dry that, and I'm going to draw my flowers in right there. So that we can add those in. Uh-oh. I got to replace my... Yep, I got to replace my ink. Or my pencil lead. Hang on. Let me get my pencil lead in there. So I'm using the HB. Y'all, I've had this kit, this pencil kit for, I don't know, probably 6 months, easy. And I draw with it every single day. And this is the only the 4th time I've had to replace the lead in it, if that tells you anything. It lasts a really long time. So I'm going to hold this button down, and I'm just going to push it in. And then I'm going to make it come out. Okay. I'm going to draw my flowers. And here, I'm going to do it like this. Have it coming down like this. Okay. So that is going to be the next 2 flowers. And remember, all we're doing is putting yellow in the center and a little gray on the petals. So that it doesn't look the same as the background. So not much gray, just a little bit. So it gives the indication that it's white, but it's not exactly white. Okay. All right. Now let's go ahead and bring in some more of that green. And let's put in some petals. I'm going to fill that in with green anyway, so I'm not even going to worry about doing grass because I'm going to fill that all in. Okay. Okay, so now it's time to put some detail on this little cute guy. And when we do that, we're going to use our Grabby waterproof pins. So pull yours out. I am going to be using the 05 to start. And these are going to be for the detail work, okay? Again, we're still at the ugly phase, so don't panic. It's going to look really, really nice when we get done, okay? So let's go ahead and let's start with the little antennas and get those done, okay? So we're gonna okay. Let's go ahead and do the head. And this is going to start giving him a little personality now, or her, whichever you prefer yours to be. All right, I'm going to go in right here and right here. Okay, and I'm going to make this all black. Okay, now we want to give him some eyelashes. Okay, and then I'm going to give his eyes with my detail brush their color. In the picture, they're brown, but I'm going to use blue. I always like to use blue for the eyes. I don't know why. It's just maybe because I have blue eyes. I think because it shows better than brown. Okay, so give him this little blue in his eyes. And then we're going to take our gel pen, our white gel pen, which is, where are you? Oh, I think I have it in my to-go, my thing I took this weekend because, yep, I took it this weekend and didn't. All right. So we are going to now take our white gel pen and we're going to give it a little highlight. Right there. Oh, look. Now that just brought it to life. Isn't that super cute? Okay. Now we're going to go ahead and give it kind of some little stitching. very randomly around the head. And then we're going to bring that outline all the way around the wings. And get these patches going. Okay, just like that. Okay, and let's give some stitching. Along the edge, like that. Okay. Okay. Again, let's add some stitching. All right, now he's starting to come together. All right. So all we're doing is just following our lines, giving that extra little detail of the patches. You know, we had to have a patch heart, of course. Y'all give me some comments. Let me know how it's going. Okay, let's do some stitching around the base, wings. Perfect. Let's go ahead and do I'm going to put some dots in the middle. All right. It's coming along, coming along. Okay. All right, so now, oh, we got to do this leaf. All right, so now we want to start putting some shading in here. Hey, Angel, how's it going? So glad you're here. All right, I'm going to take this and I'm going to take some green. I'm just going to kind of put it all through here, just so that we have the semblance of some grass. And then we will take and we will do some little grass coming up. Out of that. I'm not a huge fan of doing grass. I don't like doing it. I don't ever do it very well. I get it. Oh, I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. We are... Yeah, I know. I was concentrating. I haven't been quiet the whole time, but I was concentrating. So, okay. I'm going to go, and we were doing stuff that, you know, everybody kind of was working on their outlines. So, all right, time to do our shading though. That means we are moving on to our colored pencil phase, and I'm going to pull out some of the pinks and greens. Whoops. So that we can shade our work with them. We're also going to need some of the blues. Let me pull those out. Okay. All right. So now we will be using the Color colored pencils to start doing some shading. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out from underneath here. So I'm going to go in with this light right around the patches. And I'm going to take this light purple and go right here, because that's where our purple kind of came in. That bled in there. And then I'm going to take the next pink, which will be this peach puff color. I moved it down. Can you not hear me? I moved it down so y'all could see a little bit closer. So I'm going to come out a little bit more with this here. And then I'm going to use the dark. I wonder why. That's kind of weird. Let me see. How about now? Is that better? Or... It's not covered. My mic isn't covered. That's weird. Maybe I'm just talking softer than normal. Uh-oh. I accidentally broke that. All right, so once I do that, I'm going to go back in with this light, and I'm going to blend that out again. This is where you're really going to start seeing this kind of all come together. It's going to be really pretty. with the blend of these colors. Yep. Turn me back down. That's what colored pencils are going to do for you. They're going to give you dimension. So you're going to be in a position where it's going to look great like this, but it's going to be over the top once you start adding pencils into it. So that is how we're doing this. All right, so we're going to go again. We're going to go around here. And the purple. I'm going to blend that pink in with the purple. And then second pink is going to come out a little further. And then the dark. Now right around this patch, we're going to go in with the dark purple and the medium purple. Okay, so we can see how that's kind of coming together there. And we can go back in and add our dark stitching again once we're done to just make that come out a little bit more. All right, I'm going to put a little bit right here. All right, so those top two wings are done. It was wonderful, Angel. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, it is sometimes hard to see the difference, but when you have a wing up next to another wing, you can really tell the difference. So see these bottom wings? Now they're kind of looking flat, and that's because they are, that I haven't put in the colored pencils yet, but we're about to. So I'm about to pull the blues. So we're going to need a light blue, we're going to need a medium blue, and a dark blue. So these are the colors. So I'm going to be using the pale blue, the light sky blue, and the light cyan blue. And I'm going to go in right here, bring that down, and then I'm going to use the medium Come down a little bit for not quite as far, but I am going to come in here in this little groove. And then I'm going to use the super dark just in the corner, right around this little patch, and then right here. And we'll go over it again with medium pressure. And we'll do that again. Now heavy pressure. Okay, just like that. Now you see the difference? One wing has got depth and the other does not. The beach was wonderful, Angel, by the way. I didn't finish that sentence. We had a good time. The weather held off, which we were worried about it raining, and it did not. The weather held off wonderfully, which was very nice. And so we got to take the kids to the beach. We went over to the Margaritaville Resort and got a day pass and let them swim in the pool. It had a nice little family area with a swim-up bar and just some really good music, and the kids had a blast swimming. We were there most of the day on Saturday for that. And then we came home and cooked out on the grill and had hot dogs and hamburgers, and they loved that. So we had a really good time. It was a nice, relaxing weekend. And then on Sunday, we got home, went over to my daughter's for Easter Sunday, and they had an Easter egg hunt, and it was really nice. It was a good weekend. Good weekend spent with family. All right, so now we have that wing done. Let's go ahead and add back in any stitching that's kind of disappeared, because we want that to be showing. I think that's good. All right. There we go. All right. How did you put the marking of circles in the box? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Stacy Lee. What do you mean the marking of circles? You mean these little plaid ones? I just did lines and crisscrossed them. Okay, let's do the body. All right, so for the body, we're going to do a, let's see, I don't know if I need this. Yep, we'll do it like this. All right, so I'm using the mint green light, the apple green, and the light sea green. And I'm going to go in the corners of his body and right at the top of the head. And then I'm going to use the, I don't think we need that light. I don't think we need this one. We're going to need this one. So this is what we're going to use for our light one. And then we'll go in with this one. A little bit in the corners, not much. A little bit at the top here, not much. And then we'll use this dark green at the very top, just barely. We'll go back over it. Medium pressure. This reminds me of when we did the caterpillar. And then one more time with just the light. Okay, and let's do a darker green for the leaves. We're going to go in with this. Let's go in with this first. We will need it for this one. Just keep layering your greens or your pencils until you get a shadow that you like. And you can always go back over it with the lighter color to blend it out if it gets too much. Okay, so there's that. And let's just go ahead and splatter this. And we're going to call this done, y'all. I think it is super cute. I'm going to use my number 1. And I'm going to use... I think I'm going to use this pink. Thank you, Angel. All right, let's go ahead and just splatter a little pink on him. Not too much. His face got a little bit much, so let's go ahead and wipe the face off. Kind of gave him a pink nose. That's all right. I'm going to go in with this detail. Do a few small. Yep, like that. Very good. Now I'm going to take some clean water and my detail brush because I really don't like the way that that ended up right there in the middle. I'm going to try to get that up as much as possible. I'm going to go over it with a little bit of that green. Doesn't look like I'm going to be able to fix that though, so That's all right. He's okay. We'll just call that his nose. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and dry it, and then we'll peel it off. I should have covered his face. I usually do. I just thought, no, I can do it. That's what I get for thinking that. Yeah, I should have covered him up. That's all right. He just has some splatters. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. If you looked at my old art, you would see that that's all over my older art pieces. So not a big deal, but let's peel this. Look at how beautiful that came out. So cute. Not my favorite, but definitely cute. Still happy with him and the way he turned out. You're not happy with yours, Talia? I feel that. We can't be happy with every single piece we do. I'm not completely thrilled with mine either, but he's still super cute. And look, he still matches with this cute set of little patchwork friends. I call these patchwork pals. And I think that he's adorable. So, hopefully, I think it's right up there with the caterpillar. Uh-oh. Well, I loved your caterpillar. So that just goes to show you that we are our own worst critics, right? So, it's definitely something that, it's an opinion. It is not a fact. So if you don't like it, it doesn't mean, yay, Babs, I'm so glad. I want to see it. I'm so excited. So I was thinking that we would plan a time where we could come on. I'll host it, and maybe Talia, you could hop on, and anybody else who is painting along with me, and we can all paint something together. It would be fun to do that, I think. I'll reach out to you and we'll plan it somehow. I haven't ever done a group one like that, but I think we could do it and it would be fine. I'm sure it's not difficult. Perfect, Talia. I'll do that with you. I'll reach out to you. It'll be fun. Wouldn't it be fun, Angel? I think it would be. Hey, Kelly. How's it going? Welcome in. We just finished up our tutorial of this patchwork butterfly. Love how he turned out. We have all of these different patchwork characters that we have done. And I don't know, maybe we'll do one more patchwork tomorrow and be done with this series. I'm not really quite sure, but we'll see. And I think that I'm really liking this series, though. I love the patchwork animals. They're so super cute. So stinking cute. So far, that is what we have. That's okay, Kelly. It'll be going up on my Tube of You, and you can grab the replay there. All of these are up except for the butterfly. And then the dinosaur I did on my own. I didn't do it on live, so I don't have a replay for that one. But these three you can grab on my Tube of You. So no worries if you missed any of these tutorials for these little patchwork friends. We have one more tomorrow, and then we're going to call this one done. And I'm going to get them listed on my EBAY on Sunday, because I'm running low on my listings because I sold so many this week and last week. So I really need to get some new ones up there. All right. I'm also finishing up my fish series too. Those will be going up soon as well. All right. So any questions on anything that we did today? If you have any questions, let me know. I am going to be working on, I have to show y'all, I got me these new little journals, and I'm going to be working on a bullet journal for, I'm going to start now because it's going to take me a long time to do it, but I'm going to be, I got several of these, and I'm going to be working on a custom bullet journal for 2026, and I'm going to use this dotted journal to do it. I got these on another site very inexpensively, and I'm going to be doing some of those, so that's going to be fun. I'm also going to be doing some coloring, some colored pencil coloring with you guys on some lives, but I'm not going to do them on these lives. I'm going to have some separate lives with just my colored pencils and coloring pages and be working on that, as well as I will be starting a new subscription for PAT. I don't know how to the subscription channel. So that's all I can say. I'll put it on a video for you guys, but it will be a Patreon, and that's going to be super fun as well, that you guys can join, and we will be having extra tutorials on that, so that it doesn't have to be on here all the time. So, so there's that. That will be, I will be announcing that soon. Probably the end of, maybe this weekend, that will be situated and up. So hopefully, if you want to do that, I will do a video on that for you guys, so you guys can know how to do all of that. Okay. All right. So today we used our pencils. We used our colored pencils. We used our Grabby multi-liners. We used our Meeden tube paints. We used our, what else did we use, guys? Oh, we used our Meeden brushes. We used our golden maple brushes. And we did this cute little patchwork butterfly. So I hope that you guys had fun today on this tutorial. I hope that you guys will join me again tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's looking like I'm going to be shooting for, let me look. Well, let me see what time I have on my calendar tomorrow. I wrote it down earlier today because I tried to plan out my week ahead so that I could tell you guys. So let me just hop in here and get my calendar open. So tomorrow, Tuesday, I'm showing 10 a.m. So I'm going to be shooting for 10 a.m. tomorrow. And I'm going to be shooting for 6 on Wednesday and 8 on Thursday. I'm going to do an early session on Thursday, mainly because I'm going on a trip this weekend and I will be gone. So I need to do it early before I get out of town. Again, I can't promise that I will get that one done, but I'm going to do my best, okay? Because I may be packing. Like I did this past Thursday, I didn't have time to come on. So I may or may not have time to come on, but if I do, it's going to be early, okay? So that's kind of my schedule for the week. And hopefully you guys can put, slap those on your calendar and do your best to attend. I know 8 a.m. is early. It's Central Standard Time, so I don't know what that is for you guys, but Central Standard Time, 8 a.m. on Thursday. And then, thanks for the wink, Babs. I appreciate that. Yep, put a note in your phone for that one. Yep, I know. Oh, goodness. Okay, I'm yawning, you guys. I'm tired. This weekend wore me out. All right, so any questions on anything else? Because I want to make sure I answer all your questions before I hop off of here. I haven't had lunch, so I'm going to go make me some lunch. It's 3 o'clock my time, and I'm still not having lunch, so. But I just want to encourage you guys to practice, okay? If you don't like the way it turned out, that's okay. Just keep practicing. It will get better and better. Remember, those of you who were here when I first started doing these lives, I promise you, the level of drawings that I'm doing now have tremendously improved from when I started. Oh, good grief, Talia. You need to eat something, girl. So don't feel as though you have to be perfect right off the bat. I am still struggling all the time. And that is just part of art. Okay. You're always going to be striving to be better. So just keep going. Okay. As the fish would say, just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, 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 swimming. So just keep painting. Just keep painting. Just keep painting, painting, painting. And you will get better and better and better. Okay. I am looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I'm going to add a few little squigglies and stuff to the butterfly. So I'm going to do a little squiggly here, and I'm going to do one of those little kind of sunburst there, and maybe do some of that like stitching, kind of crazy stitching right here. And then I'm going to go in with my white, and I'm going to do some squigglies with my white. I'm going to get it moving. This is not my ZSCM white, as you can tell, because it's hit or miss with white when it's not a ZSCM. Let me just get it moving. But I needed a thinner tip, so. I'm just going to use my ZSCM. It's not as thin a tip, but it will work for me. Well, it's going over that now, so maybe not, guys. Maybe not. There we go. Do some dots. Oh, that looks better. Gave it some little details. Thank you, Babs. This tutorial is going up this afternoon. It'll be on my tube of view by this afternoon. Okay. So in about another couple of hours, it'll be up, and you'll be able to do it on my tube of view. All right. That looks better with those, with the little details on it. I'm going to do one more right here. All right. I'm not sure yet, Stacy Lee. Okay, there we go. All right, guys. So unless anybody has any questions, I am going to hop off of here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you guys had a blast doing our cute little patchwork butterfly to go with all of our other little patchwork pals. And we will, I'll type it in and see if what it comes up with for you, Stacy Lee, and see if we can do one of those. Maybe we can do an otter. Babs, you are so welcome. I'm so glad you got to paint with us today. I'll be on tomorrow around 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. I will see you guys then. Bye.